This shit is so 80s and nothing has changed at all since then. Well, shucks, I be, guys. The Walt Disney Company is officially 100 years old now. Can you believe it? They've been a thing since before color was added to cartoons. And it's because of that why those classic animals you see have gloves on so you can see their hands whenever they go in front of their bodies, but it wasn't initially like that. And you know, I just got back from Branson recently and it reminded me of that Silver Dollar City video I made over a year ago. My stepmother had made a reply to the video saying that she loved it and that I need to make another one ranking the Disney World coasters. No. I believe the word you're looking for is should. As in I should make a video like that. I don't need to do a single greasy zebra ovary. I know people in my comments are going to be using that need word quite often, but that doesn't make it any more correct. But here we are over 1 year later, and I guess the closest thing we'll get to that is just a regular blog about Disney World, which is better than nothing. The thing is, I've been to Disney World only 2 times in my whole life, and the last time was November of 2009. I had fun and all, but if you're not the biggest fan of their work, you're not going to enjoy the place to its fullest potential. And I really don't know if the trilogy will ever be completed or not. I mean, yeah, sure, I can't pretend like there aren't good Disney movies, there's a bunch of them. But there's just way too much damn repeating in their system. No, I will not be seeing Wish when it comes out because it's the same thing as Encanto, Raya, and Moana. All movies I've already seen and don't have much going for them anyway. Nintendo World kicks their ass 20 miles into the Atlantic in my opinion, and I've never been there. The best section of Disney World has got to be Epcot because it's actually something different.
Who do you think the hottest girl in school is? The Epcot ball? Well, I like Melanie, and not just because she's pretty. I think she's really fun.
Yeah, because the Epcot ball is something you find at your school. That makes sense. But you guys, by now, should be familiar with my cousin Judah. He was the biggest reference point on Kale-Idle-Scope until Drake came along. Well, he went there in December of 2021, at the age of 15. I don't know if that was his first time or not, but when I brought up to the family the following May that my dad and his fam were going, and it got into circulation, Judah replies with, "Disney World sucks." And I'm thinking, holy crap, dude. The place that used to be the most fun in the whole planet now all of a sudden sucks? I gotta hear that shit. Well, later down the road when he was 16, he later admitted that it wasn't Disney World that sucked, it was just their experience, which makes a lot more sense. How bad could it have been? Well, from what I hear, it was basically them coming in without a plan. And that's kind of the issue, people. Kind of a no-brainer that you need to set this crap up. Like, would you ever just infiltrate your enemy's base with just your fists and just like walk through the front door? No, dude! Yo ass is dead! They got into quite a few arguments, and this other guy that used to be their mom's boyfriend was with them causing a commotion. Judah stated that he tried to throw a punch at the dude, but one of his sisters blocked it or some crap. I hear that this man is like a late 20s baby. I only met the dude one time and honestly he didn't seem that bad, but I'll take your word for it. Judah stated he also uses air quotes pretty often. Not even like just to be a smartass, like he just randomly uses it when it makes no sense. Yeah, he sounds like a bitch. And Judah's oldest sibling tried to call 911 on him, but she had gotten into some trouble with the law in the past. She's definitely improved since then. But at the time, she was kind of having warrants and crap, and when they asked her for a name, she's like, oh shit. And she just hands the phone to Judah. I'm sorry, that sounds like a disaster. I'm really sorry that it had to go down that way. You guys paid way too much goddamn money for it to have gone down that road. And the cherry on top of the sundae was when Judah's little nephew, who I live next to, didn't get his chance to see Mickey Mouse. I mean, come on, that's just sad. That boy is too damn adorable, and he did not get his wish, nor did anyone for that matter. But at the very least, air quote dude is gone because air quote dude got drunk one night and smacked their mom, so yeah, he's out of there. When I told my dad that this guy had hit their mom, he was like, man, I'm really sorry that you have to be around all that, Kale. But honestly, I wasn't at Disney World with them. If I was, I would have been having a major meltdown. And I'm sure it would have been like at least 4 times worse at my school. Like that crap was leprosy. But I actually did find it amusing that Judah was fighting his sort of stepdad, and you know what? Walt Disney himself got aggressive at times. Yeah, I actually did a report on Disney in like 7th grade or something like that, and I read in a book that when Disney was 14 years old, so probably 1916, he got in some trouble with his dad. And this was back when I swear that every parent in the world was just a fucking dickhead. Disney's dad would take him down to the basement often and just whip him for misbehaving. Yeah, as if that was the right way to solve the issue. And it's not even like he did anything that bad, like maybe he shrugged in a kind of rude way or he made a small mistake and his ass gets beaten. Man, what a fatherfucker. And apparently Disney's brother was present for this, and he tells Disney that you don't have to take this shit anymore. You're 14. You're getting to be that age. And Disney's basically thinking to himself, you're right, I've had enough. So then the most kick-ass thing happens. He grabs his dad's arm and twists it really hard, because at this point Disney was even bigger than his own dad. He twists it so hard to the point where his dad starts crying, and then he finally lets go. After that, his dad tells him that he would not beat him anymore. All I can say is, well done. Well fucking done. You really put him in his place. I mean, yeah, I'm not really one for breaking people's hearts like that, because it just makes you sad in the long run as well. I mean, I once broke my dad's heart, and, you know, I feel kind of bad later on. But I guess sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. And I guess Walt Disney had realized that. People in their 50s are always like, kids these days be damned. Back in my day, well, we're not in your day anymore, thank frockin' God. And if Disney could do it long before you were born, then you probably could have done it as well. What I'm saying here is, if your parents are bothering you, don't be afraid to tell them, hey man, that's not cool. I mean, you don't have to be rude or violent about it unless it's like really freaking bad. But just don't be afraid to just have a conversation with them and just say, I don't like that, can we not do that? And I'm sure these days it's improved. Not all parents are selfish anymore. I mean, not all parents were selfish back then either, but it was just more common. And parents, I'm not saying let your kids just throw you in the dirt, but, you know, they shouldn't let you throw them in the dirt either, you know what I mean? Let's just try to think in other people's point of view. There's probably always going to be abusive and stupid parents in the world, and I wish I could do something about that, but unfortunately I cannot. And it's like when I asked one of my newer coworkers what his name was, and he's like, you can call me anything, but I go by Danny. You're welcome for the shout out, by the way. And then Zach asks him, can I call you sorry son of a bitch? Will that work? And Danny's like, that's fine, I never liked my mother anyway. Well, damn. I mean, yeah, be honest, if someone sucks, they suck, but Christ on a stick. Man, just be kind, okay? It's more worth it. But before we end this episode, let's talk about a little bit of an illusion that Disney World has. You may have heard of the video game for Sega Genesis from 1990 called Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse, right? Well, the video game for the Sega Genesis from 1990 named Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse is actually a legit thing in the theme park. Like, the whole castle tricks your brain. You've probably been told before that the Cinderella castle isn't as big as it appears. I can assure you, those two humans right there are not giants. It is legitimately that small. It has to do with depth perception. Something about how things are further away appear smaller compared to things that are closer. And if the trick is done correctly, it can be pretty damn cool. But I don't really understand the illusion myself, at least not yet. Like, the base of the castle is about as big as you'd expect, but the tip of it is much smaller than it appears. But wouldn't that mean if the tip was further back, then it would appear even smaller? This isn't quite catching on in my brain here. Like, what would it look like if it was on the exact same z-axis as the base?
Here's a nice high-definition picture of the Cinderella castle, and here is a picture of me scaled to the right size. And to be fair, due to perspective, this would be my size at the front of the tunnel, and this would be my size at the back of the tunnel. And so we'll measure off a height in between those two values, which of course represent my size if I was standing directly in the middle. And I seem to be at the appropriate height to the front walls. But now let's take my image and move me up to the keep. See how big I am compared to the keep now? And then in addition addition, let's move my image up to the tower. See the height of the door on this tower? This door gives everyone who looks at the tower a natural point of reference they register subconsciously. That's a door. Doors are supposed to be a little taller than a person. Therefore, the size and height of this tower must be pretty large and impressive, but in reality, it's actually half the height.
I really don't know how they pull it off, but if you happen to be wealthy as shit and there isn't already a VIP who has renovated a stay, you can actually spend the night in the castle. It's damn expensive, but if you have the money, they do let you. Does this mean that the people that are granted access into the castle can see the illusion, or is it still hidden even for them? I don't really know, but I believe that does it for this video. So I'll see you around. Goodbye! Horrible Mickey Mouse impression.